for streaming services and why I think that they don't really care about giving us entertainment, and they care more about making a profit. So first I'll tell you about the background about streaming services, how they came to be, what we know today, how streaming services, the way that they give us our content is harmful, and how we can change how we interact with watching shows and movies and media. So first of all, have you guys ever been looking for a show and you know it was on Netflix but you can't find it anymore? Okay. The reason why that happens is streaming services remove content from their libraries to write them off as losses at tax time, says Michael Sun from The Guardian. So basically, I mean, that quote alone just shows you how they don't really care about our enjoyment. They only care about buying licenses at the cheapest as possible, and then selling them, and then getting the money straight back into their pocket at tax time. And I'm sure a lot of people can feel this like disconnect when interacting with these streaming services. I know a lot of the time when I'm looking for stuff, you can just tell like a algorithm is just making everything, every collection, it doesn't even feel personalized. But on the flip side, streaming services do allow people to watch whatever they want when they want, and it increased overall viewerships. Like I know a lot of shows and movies, I mean, they go out of theaters pretty quick, so you usually have to watch it on demand. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. How many of you guys use Hulu? Netflix? Okay, Peacock? Disney Plus? Okay, a lot of you guys kept your hands up. So basically, you guys have multiple streaming services because multiple shows are spread out through each and every streaming services. And this kind of thing is called fragmentation, and Lincoln Brown, he kind of made up that word, and it's basically when you have to go to Hulu to watch the game, Netflix to watch Stranger Things, and back to Hulu to watch Euphoria or whatever. And this can hurt viewership and make people feel like they're getting scammed. A lot of people have said subscriptions have become so widespread that many consumers have started to become overwhelmed with what people are calling subscription fatigue, says Jay Fitzgerald from Harvard Business School. So basically, it's a bigger problem than we think with streaming services. It just feels like a big money scheme instead of what was supposed to be easier access to entertainment, but it's not anymore. A way that we can counteract this is by collecting physical media like DVDs. VHS tapes, I've dabbled in that. They're not really that good anymore. I say DVDs and Blu-rays. But once you buy your DVD, you have it forever. So you buy it and you own it, and that's not the same for a lot of streaming services. You buy and you buy and you buy and you buy. Also, we can start going to movies more. Maybe like go over to people's houses, watch what they are already paying for. And we can support smaller streaming services like Shudder. Shudder is like a subscription-based streaming service, but it also helps create more movies from smaller creators. Like they helped with the creation of The Purge, which is a pretty popular horror movie. We can also, say you want to see one show, you subscribe to that one streaming services that has that show, and then once you're done, you delete the streaming services, cancel your subscription, and then move on to the next thing. So it will help you save money, because sometimes we forget about everything that we're subscribed to. Overall, this is why I think streaming services aren't really helpful for consumers, and why we should move on to something else.
Your speech was like really cool, like with the DVD example. Like I think it's a really good idea.
I liked how you went. I liked how you went into depth for everything you have said. I like that very. Also wanted to say, I have all the streaming services that I pay for. I'm not in my Fire Stick.
See, that's also a point that I didn't really touch on. if we had like one big, like you pay $100 and you get all the streaming services, it would stop people from like bootlegging, fire sticks, and pirating stuff,
Yeah.
which could be safer for people in their networks, keep people safe. But yeah, I know a lot of people do that. I used to pirate stuff. Like, don't tell anybody, but I used to pirate stuff. Yeah.
So wouldn't it make sense to not have all of this shows on one service? Cause then if, like, say Netflix had every movie, then why would you, like, I guess it would create less competition because then everybody would just go to the one service versus those companies are trying to make money, so they wanna have like different shows, different movies, that way people want to go and buy their stuff as well.
I think that is the problem, is that entertainment is, I mean, from the dawn of time, it's been art. And we should be able to consume art. The people who make art should be compensated fairly without having to switch over media from different websites and services. Like a lot of smaller directors, they make a movie, it goes into theaters for like a week, it goes on Netflix for like another week, and then it drops off the face of the earth, which makes it harder for smaller directors and actors to be casted in things because nobody can find what they're doing. So I think it's just overall bad the way we use streaming services as more of a money thing than a, oh, I'm experiencing art. So, yeah.
Last one, Gabe.
Do you think humans will like continue to kind of drive this issue like to get worse as everybody just keeps on buying and using these streaming services?
I think eventually, because we're getting really good with technology, like even the older generations. So somebody's just gonna, like Joseph said, with the having the modded fire stick or whatever, I feel like everybody's gonna switch to that. And then there's gonna be some type of overwatch on your network to see if you're stealing too. But I feel like there's always gonna be somebody who's trying to buy the content once, even though people are selling it month after month after month. So I just think it's just gonna keep, they're trying to get our money, but a lot of people aren't going to be spending money on it.